Stay tuned, McWarriors, and welcome back to another episode of RogueTech as we get into the campaigns of Howl's Harrows. And last time, well, we had most of our burner mechs completely thrashed. In fact, none of the butter mechs are actually going to be making an appearance. So today we're going to be blowing a whole bunch of stuff up. However, we have some really good missions here. So we're going to take a capture-based mission, 5/21 priority salvage, 448,400 Seables. We'll pay for our costs. All we got to do is rock up and annihilate everything that gets in our way. And I think we can do that. I would like to get my burner mechs back, or perhaps even improved, but time is going to be, taken to get to that point. I would very much like to get my hands on a whole bunch of clan arrows, but that's probably not going to happen. Alright, so we have our champion back online, which is a lot of fun, equipped with a heavy Gauss rifle, quad medium laser, and an MML-10, equipped with acid ammunition, because I was really in an acidy mood when I designed several mechs on this list. Actually, Paradox is also driving our Marauder. I will turn off the tag barrage now, so I will not be confused by it, with twin large heavy lasers and a Gauss rifle. Modifications for this mech mostly include swapping out the Gauss rifle for another pair of large heavy lasers, because they're great, and I have enough to actually do that. Showboat is in her Black Knight once again. Hopefully it will not find itself to be completely opened up like last time. Death Crusade, King Crack, as has become his custom. Mockingbird in the Mackie, Jester in his Emperor, Howl back to her Gauss Wolf with the 6 medium lasers and Gauss rifles. There's some modifications needing to be made to this mech that I'm slowly working on. Very slowly. And then Finn, of course, in the Vulture with the massive arrow spam. So, with introductions done, let us set out to see if we can't find the enemy. We need to destroy an enemy force, an occupying force. Ooh, actually, I should be going up the mountain. Although the champions are going to need to get in close anyway, so we will start directing ourselves up in that direction, though. Because mountains give you high ground advantages that are amazing. I will drop in... Do we know where you are? We do not. Okay, I'll just drop a shell right here. Find out what happens. High explosive. Indirect. He tends to be so accurate that I run out of my shaped charge ammunition anyway and have to fall back on high explosives, so I may as well use a little bit while I get myself a rolling. Shellbook on his... Ooh. Let's make sure that we get our AMS to overload so that we don't get confused or surprised or otherwise annihilated from maximum range. So just make sure that everybody is running AMS to max. Howl does not have one. We've lost several AMS mechs. That's actually somewhat concerning, but it's something that we can handle. We have been under these situations before, and while it's not going to be ideal, it is absolutely something that can be dealt with. You're going to just rush right on up here. I will lay a big ol' arrow strike right here in the middle. Twin arrows are going away. Lots of damage to buildings. But I was never promised to take the buildings intact now, did I? Oh wait, no, it's a base defense. Or base capture? I suppose we did, but you know what? The basement is part of the building. I'll call that intact. Get the King Crack on the move as well. High ground will serve it very well because the King Crack on high ground with the accuracy bonuses on those guns. So perfectly beautiful. Get the Mackie up there as well. If I can actually do direct fire, or like targeted strike with the Mackie, it becomes so much more powerful than what it currently is. Not to say that it's not powerful in its current configuration, but it could be so much better. Mainly accuracy is the thing that we all desire. Yeah, you can start heading up the mountain a little bit. Yeah, you'll go not too far forward, because you don't have any AMS and you tend to get shot a lot. There we go. We've identified a target. It is a Firestarter, a prime variant of the Firestarter Omni-Mech, a 40 or 45 ton mech that happens to have a built-in XL engine because it's an Innersphere Omni. There's going to be a Catapult H2 65 tons up here to play games with us. You would actually be a fairly interesting replacement for my Catapult, but I'm probably not going to do that purely because the 55 ton Catapult is just so much better. Alright, so swarms, high explosives, let's go shape charge. And we'll warlet it. I might actually have the ability to annihilate this Firestarter one hit. All I've got to do is knock out this side torso, and if that happens, the mech is completely gone. Let's see what happens. Double tap, and followed up with a fairly solid strike. The Omni-Mech has been damaged, but he's not yet dead. And that's what I'm here for. I'm here for absolute destruction and mayhem. Rush all the way on up here. No new sensor contacts. That's actually really confusing. 75s. Guideds are up, baby, and off they go. And he's dead. Ooh, wow. 123 and 117 for those strikes. That was brutal. And there is no more Firestarter Omni. Also, there's going to be 4 parts to a Firestarter down the floor now, which is, pretty handy. We'll rush the Gas Wolf on forward. It's a fairly solid, aggressive combat scout, although in need of minor modifications. Maybe a pair of MML5s, should I be able to find them. So RISC MML5s are fairly rare, but if you can get your hands on them, they can do a lot of stuff. I don't quite know where I want to put you, because there's no easy path back down this map. I believe the reinforcements come in from up here, but I'm not positive. I will run you on the low ground, which may be setting yourself up all on your lonesome, but I'm going to kind of rely on both your armor and your AMS protection to keep you running. That may be a decision I come to regret, but I have minor hopes for the future. So let's see, what do you do? Because you're dangerous. You're an H2 catapult. Not quite familiar with that version. And we've got an Emperor? That looks like an Emperor. It can't be an Emperor. It's a Thunderbolt. Okay. The world is making sense. Thunderbolts are fairly solid mechs. 65-ton heavies. I actually do like them. It's just that the 65-ton heavy really kind of falls into a category of meh for the most part. 30 and 20. Okay. Sniper artillery. High explosive. You asked for it, buddy. Well, he probably didn't, but we deliver. On time in 30 seconds or less. Alright, waiting for another enemy. So we're missing one target. We've got our heavy over here, our Thunderbolt, and then we have our fun little catapult. The catapult probably a little bit more dangerous. Not entirely sure what he's equipped with, but we'll find out soon. Rather soon-ish. Champion! Yes, send the champion forward. Still no sensor contact. Very confusing and concerning. You should be able to see the catapult, no problem. In fact, you can get some high ground while doing it. Still haven't seen our number 4. He is a mystery. Wow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm gonna guess either SRMs or rockets, baby, because that's painful. At least it potentially could be. Managed to hit with the Gauss level. She's relearning her way back into driving a mech that actually, you know, gets in somebody's face. The Marauder, if I can get a line of sight, is not gonna happen. Next turn, of course, will be our opportunity. But I do think that catapult is rockets. I'm guessing, of course, but it seems reasonable. 3 energy weapons, though? That's a little weird. Normally, your energy weapons come in pairs. PPC, off from the distance. Okay. There could be a lot of things. My gut says Panther, but probably not. My gut was wrong. It was a Griffin, which makes a heck of a lot more sense when I consider what difficulty level we're currently playing at. I mean, Panther would be much more making sense if we were on a 2, maybe even a 1.5 skull mission. Finn in your vulture. Yeah, let's just get more pain onto this guy. Guided arrows. Go for the sensor lock as well to increase our odds of actually getting a good hit on him. Did they give me enough information? It did not. So I do not get to know for free what he's currently carrying. But 64% on our guided arrows. It's a little bit rough, but we managed to hit with 1-ish. I'll work with it. You want to get into cover as best as you can. Face towards your enemy because you know you're here to defeat them. Do you see him just naturally? You kind of don't. He's actually managing to be quite evasive. Death Crusade, where are you? Not in a position to do anything, unfortunately. Maybe in the next round. Next round he'll Overwatch, he'll be able to start shooting down, it'll be beautiful. But for now, there will be no direct strike in the way that I desire. Set up right there, take aim. Ooh, it got even worse. Can't be shape charge. Well, actually, no, it has to be shape charge, otherwise it's going to hit Howl. Can I go no thumper? That might actually be the solution. 29 health, go with the swarm. Yeah, we'll drop that. Okay, unsteady, which is quite cool, but I think he gets to move now, which kind of negates that. So if he's about to fire a whole bunch of rockets into my face, it's gonna happen. Okay, he's moving to the side. Oh no, he's a funny. I mean, yeah, he's got rockets, but he's a funny. By which I mean he's a catapult who only has one arm dedicated to catapults. And that was his 100 rockets, by the way. In case you were wondering, those were the rockets. Yep, all used up. Not sure about a one-shot PPC, though. Okay, none of those targets are particularly accurate, so we'll just rush on in. I just realized why everything sounds super loud, because it is super loud. I had my sound settings up just a little bit. There we go. Much easier. And lay down a shell. Hit this boy, because he deserves it. Also because I don't want to shoot my own people while doing it. But yeah, I knew he has rockets, I just didn't realize the H2 was the type of catapult we're already packing. Apparently he blew up his Defiance PPC. He must have turned off the the controller for it. There's a limiter on it in order to keep you from hurting yourself too badly. Clearly that did not work. Yeah, just get right up in here. This is kind of what you do. We'll do a sensor lock just to improve things a little bit, because he did move slightly. And this heavy Gauss rifle only really does damage if it, you know, strikes the target. So, oh, beautiful. Very beautiful. Now he's unsteady. Everybody gets easy shots on him. Language, sir. Can you see... You can see the Thunderbolt. You can also see the Griffin. This is actually quite interesting. I could kill you, but I'm not going to. Rotary, 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 rotary. It's time to let it rip. Actually, I'm going to lay a sensor lock on you. Probably don't need to, but I'm just going to dish out sensor locks like they're candy. It makes me feel better. It did help quite a lot. I'm going to make a bet saying you're going to die. Oh, he can kill a 55-ton mech from the front from long range with 72% accuracy. I do love it very much. The Gauss Wolf. Let's finish off our opponent who decided he was going to be a jerk. I do have a minimum range, of course, that I do have to respect. I mean, I don't want to respect it, but I don't really have much of a choice. Yeah, can I do so without potentially shooting my buddy in the back? Yeah, we'll go with that.
Got it.
Accuracy bad, but medium laser's good. There we go. Medium laser for the cleanup. Didn't even need the Gauss rifle shells. I mean, they didn't hit, so it kind of helped. Finned in your vulture. True, that's actually a really good shot. Oh yeah, because he's the only one left. Fire. I was like, where's the Griffin? Okay, doing a little bit of damage, taking the high ground where the accuracy roams. Be as high as you can, and you can just nail all the targets you want all day long. Like so. Thumper artilleries, shape charge, indirect, let it fire. 1, 2. Did you seriously miss both on a 70+% accuracy shot?
Aye, aye.
Apparently he did. That's impressively bad. One might even say annoyingly bad. Yes, we've seen the area. That's okay. Vigilance, and not quite. Somebody mentioned, I believe, that I should put heat banks on here. This mech is a little bit tightly designed. There's not a lot of space for the heat bank. But I appreciate the suggestion. It does make a lot of sense. And had I the space to do so, I would probably try and get it done. I'm currently sitting on a little bit of a limit. Sure, let's go see if we can't cause some major damage to him. Okay, not quite as much as I was hoping for, but we did make him unsteady. And the target in front of him is currently braced and heavily armored and has, of course, endo-TSM. And I feel no... Well, assuming he, you know, survives. I have no problems with trying to just blow him away. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like I'm going to be able to get a direct fire shot, and I don't think my accuracy is going to get all that good, so I'm just going to hold it. Because I believe Showboat will roll well, and of course she didn't. My champion. Oh, he ran away. How adorable. Ooh, that was a heavy Gauss rifle shell to your back, sir. How do you respond? Apparently he can get away from me. This was not the plan. Alright, Marauder. Yep, there's an obstructed rear shot on him. You may as well shoot. And he's popped.
Target eliminated.
Nice and easy. Showboat. I would like you to run most of the way to the base. Because why not at this point?
Affirmative.
See no enemies on your target systems, which is good. And then Finn can chill. Just brace up here. That'll shed all of our heat, which does steadily accrue. I think actually we can fire almost all of our weapon systems before we actually need to do anything about it. But it is always nice to have that pause where you can take a moment, sort of chill out, especially on the king crab. Dear God, on this king crab. It is a cooker. It is not designed for the kind of heat that it generates, but it does a really good job of it. And you can shed your problems.
Standing by.
There we go. Everybody's feeling chill and fine. And now we're nice on top of the hill with our perfect firing positions. So if the enemy shows up, we can take him on, no problem. That's the rule. Reserve. And reserve. And reserve. Oh my God. Please. Showboat's almost there. Let her do her thing. Nope. Sprint. Yeah, go the whole way. I hereby claim this base in the name of all of the people, I guess. You can all reserve. Actually, no. You're on the front. Oh, you can get down from here. I totally forgot about that. Didn't make much of a difference. God, I love my champion so much. I'm so disappointed the champion was not included in Mech Warrior 5. Oh, I love that mech so much. And yet, we get no hide nor hair of it.
Waiting for orders.
Such a cool design. Although it does have some problems with the way they decided to bring it forward. There is actually somebody who went through and did a drawing of the champion with legs that were more like the Thanatos or more reverse swept, which made it look so much better. Because really it's the legs that let the mech down, and also the thickness of those towing arms. But other than that, the mech is pretty badass.
I've got eyes on
Hostile reinforcements. As long as they're not on top of this mountain with me, I'm happy. Got a roughneck, always a lovely design, 65 tons of fun. So, bit of an alternate design for trying to build a Thunderbolt, if you stop to think about it. Is a Thunderbolt, actually no, it shares Thunderbolt hardpoints pretty commonly. Multiple roughnecks, oh, RISC roughnecks, ooh. This could be good. The Gallant has fired at me quite a bit. We're doing fine though. Managed to shoot down 9 of 10 missiles all on her own. She didn't have any help with that one. And a Manticore. So here's the rule. The Black Knight is not allowed to kill the RISC Roughneck because the Black Knight will annihilate the RISC Roughneck. As it often does. The mech is designed for pure carnage and damage, and, well, there's simply nothing quite like getting shot at by our amazing thing. You're gonna go over to Infernos, baby, and we're gonna light everybody on fire. I didn't have to cycle through that many times, but I just kept clicking past it. Inferno! Burn the whole thing to the ground. King Crack. If I can focus on vehicles, that's fine. Stay up high. Stay up on this mountain. Take that massive accuracy bonus.
Standing by.
Use it. Let it fuel you. Could come down low, but I'm not going to because Howl's already pretty beat up. That's actually the main reason. Howl is pretty badly beat up at the moment. The Marauder can, however, take the low ground because the Marauder is not nearly as beat up and will work as well with Showboat.
Standing by.
And the Mackie can rush on forward because the Mackie only really has one target right now and doesn't really care whether or not it's a direct attack anyway. Switch over to our Inferno and just starting fires left, right, and center. We are anti-Smokey the Bear. Coach now going to go up in his champ. He probably won't have an angle to shoot, but he will be there shortly after. Also a 60-ton mech, by the way. Lots in the 60 ranges. I mean, 60s and 65s is what we're dealing with here. You are almost through. You're almost through as well. Do I move? Yeah, I'm going to give you a chance. I'm going to give you one opportunity. Please do this properly so I don't have to regret this. Okay, you missed one, but you hit the other. And point defense, very powerful. However, we still popped it. So victory has been assured. Okay, now Shobo needs to catch on up. She'll actually have a target. Let's cook it up, baby.
Firing on target.
Couldn't hit the broadside of a barn, but who cares? She's not there for accuracy, she's there for the punch. And what a punch it is. Of course you can fire an egg in there. We built it like that. We built it to be a terrifying engine of destruction and victory. I don't want to get too close to this RISC Roughneck, because it has a Hyper Assault Gauss Rifle RISC, and I don't actually know what that means. There's also a Roughneck here, which I kind of want to feed into another mech. So actually, coach, chill, reserve. Let them make the first move. Sure, that'll work with them making the first move. Finn?
Orders.
Yes, the Vulture. How badly damaged? Well, the Gallant just went. So let's start working on his nibs. Wait a second, what? What kind of engine? You have an engine XL? I like it. If I do things properly, I could actually come out of this with a roughneck. Interesting. Light it up! I do need to destroy this thing, but I'm going to start pouring heat onto that roughneck and see what I can get done. I don't really have my capture group here. It's very much an impromptu capture group. But I might be able to make some interesting stuff work.
10-4.
Also, the Gallant does not really interest me.
Location.
Does have an AC-10 though, but it keeps shooting it in cluster mode. Cluster mode is mostly worthless. Unless you really have an opening and you're going for that crit sticking, cluster doesn't matter much. When you shoot solid slugs, you punch big holes in armor. They're meant to be used together. Hi. Please tell me you're going to shoot everything? Yes. Okay. You have a double tap, or is it a triple tap? I forget. Your heat is critical. Your ammunition has not exploded, but you managed to keep your temperature high. I can only applaud you for your genius tactical decision. And in that spirit, allow me to give you a gift. Present from me to you. Let me give you a special gift. You. And sure, why not? Yeah. Oh, wow. Accuracy is good, baby. So, yeah, let's see if we can't get some torch going on. He does have a flare AMS, which is a little bit rough to try and get through. We only generated 15 heat. That's not good. But every little bit counts. And solid strikes over on the Galon. Death Crusade is an engine of destruction and firepower, the likes of which are rarely seen.
Ready for orders.
Howl could actually probably get a decent shot in over on our target. On the Galon. You don't want her to stand still because he's actually really weak on the armor right now. Sure, we'll come on down, we'll take the shot. Good accuracy on the gases. Oh, missed one, hit another. And we have a penetration on his turret systems, no less.
That hits.
So now he's vulnerable to the fire. Death Crusade is actually in reserve.
No problem.
Showboat. Run you on in there. Hi. Actually, vigilance. Oh wait, she's 1 protected and 2 can move super fast next round. Surprise! It's me. I can kill any one of you. I would prefer, of course, to kill you. In this manner.
Here we go.
Lasers. And then Paradox in his Marauder. Yeah, I'll do that. Sure, why not? If the accuracy is okay. The accuracy is actually really good. That's Warlord. Let's see if we can eliminate the Galon.
Roger that.
Oh, there it goes. Took a moment for it to realize that it had finally died, and success was achieved. Did you already go? I don't know, and it's concerning me.
Roger that.
I don't want to hurt you yet, so we're gonna do that. Darn it! I wasn't sure if he had gone yet. I really wasn't sure. So I've got to hope that I beat him with most of my cookers. Because if I can just nail him with enough heat, I can shut him down. You are suffering. I really should not hit you with the Black Knight because I need multiple parts.
Hey, yup.
Alright, champion. The champion can rush. Sure, we'll go over here.
10-4.
Hi. Let's kick in the acid and enjoy.
Engage target.
I always love when my heavy gas rifle hits. Structure exposed. Death Crusade in his King Crack. And I will attempt to eliminate your buddy with the least amount of, well, required pain. That probably took out his center torso.
Tango down.
Yeah. A little bit
What are
too
your
much.
orders, Skipper?
Wait, the champion hasn't gone? What? Did I miss something?
Skipper.
Did I just cycle back through the turn or something? I'm now confused. Okay, rush back over here. Stay out of line of sight. You don't want to get shot at. Trust me.
Good to
We're
go.
dealing with somebody who's incredibly dangerous.
Going turbo.
Hi, I'm in the fire.
Getting pretty hot in here, Commander.
It's okay. We have it controlled.
My heat's getting pretty high.
Alright.
Got something
Finn,
going down.
you're a vulture. More Inferno.
Full complement on the enemy.
1, 2. 60 heat. Oh, we're getting close. Come on, we're getting close. There's RISC to be had. No, he does have his full coolant.
What's up?
Paradox. I need you to get a line of sight. Yes!
I copy.
Because Paradox is carrying the tag barrage.
Have some of this.
Taken. I haven't had to use that tag barrage in so long.
Yes, Commander.
Alright, Howl. We can take a couple of headshots at him, sure, why not?
Aye, aye.
Oh, because his shoulder is incredibly weak, that's why not. Yes, you're shut down. You do not stand a chance. We're going to keep you cooked, don't worry.
I'm here.
The Mackie has you perfectly covered. Just what's your shot from here? It targeted his face.
Copy that.
He's panicked. That was 86 heat from that shot, by the way. In case you were wondering the effectiveness of how much heat we can pour onto a target. Yeah. Last of my shape charge indirects plus my hydras.
Fire.
Was that a headshot? Pilot lethal damage, baby.
One less target.
Alrighty, so a proper theft on an entire RISC mech, which is not bad at all. And I do believe that specific style of roughneck has actually roughed us up pretty badly before. Pardon me. So, perfectly contained and handled, even without our cooking mix. So not bad. Of course, one of our cooking mechs was replaced by a mech that had a tag barrage. But yeah, not bad. Plus a 30% increase for knocking out all the people. Gausswolf took a pretty rough hit from that rocket, but everybody else is doing pretty fine. But yeah, that rocket barrage, I knew it was coming, and I just didn't have a way of stopping it. Ooh, are you the RISC roughneck? You come in. Thank you. Thank you. I'll take that gift. It's been so long. Alright, let's see what else he got. His Hyper Assault Gauss RISC. This weapon has a recoil of 1. The weapon and heat stability damage falls off at 75% starting value long range. Weapon has a flat 5% jam chance per shot, mitigated by gunnery. Exposed ammo feed can explode for 70 damage per shot loaded. Hyper Assault Gauss rifles fire 10 projectiles per burst. So 19 tons to deal 180 damage. That seems bad. Like, I'm gonna take it just because, but that doesn't seem all that good, if I'm honest, because for 15 tons, you can get a UAC 20. That'll do 200 damage. I mean, it is a Gauss rifle, so it's a longish range, but still seems a little bit weird to me. We'll grab the ammunition for it as well. There it goes, Hyper Assault Gauss quantity 4. Alright, so that got us a brand new 65-ton mech with some pretty interesting capabilities. We did not get the catapult quantity 2, which would have been so much better. AMS flare, the light rotary cannon, which is worthless, an internal combustion engine, which we can sell, swarms, some decent stuff for the heavy MRAMs. We might be able to build something interesting out of the roughneck, I'm not sure. We may not want to keep it, but it could be, I don't know, a replacement for the catapult, not really. Roughnecks don't have that many missile hardpoints, and the temperature on the RISC MML-20 is just so ridiculously high. Which is reasonable given what you get out of it, which I don't agree they should have buffed it in 1.8, but still, it is pretty solid. So I believe the Roughneck normally has between 2 and 3 hardpoints, or missile hardpoints on the shoulder. It's much more ballistic focused in traditional versions, where you'll have ballistics on both arms and 2 in the left shoulder? Left shoulder. Right shoulder? Trying to remember. Right shoulder, I think. So let's go take a look at my, actually no, let's show me this. 11 days in the catapult. Yeah, Gausswolf got pretty roughed up on that one, unfortunately. Yeah, he's done being fixed. Now we gotta actually build him. Oh, right, we shouldn't bring the Roughneck online until after the end of the month because it'll be cheaper that way. In the meantime, we'll sell our catapult and we'll sell our Firestarter Prime. We'll hold on to this. As long as the taxpayers don't know, then we can get away with holding onto it. Quick check of the store real quick before we roll on, although I may have to roll on anyway and then wait to see what comes up. Gotta pull H2 parts. Rack 5 and a slug. If this was a clan one, I would move heaven and earth to get it. PPZs, not all that good. Some heavy alarm ammo. I have 6 tons. I now have 7 tons, which is nice. It's a little bit of a pickup on that one. A-pod, jump jets, coolant systems, and omni lowers. How many omni lowers I got? I now have 4. I'm surprised at how few omni lowers I actually have, just given normal circumstances. So click the clock. End of the month. We're still alive, although we don't have enough money to pay for the end of the month, but that's pretty normal. So let's go over to our mech bay and take a look at a couple of things. So first things first, let's go see how much of this RISC mech we actually managed to save, because it has a RISC Hyper Assault Gauss rifle. Show me my Roughneck. Yeah, looks pretty good. Reasonably intact. Yeah. So left hard point is your missile, right is your cannon. And they put in a fairly oh, I like how that Gauss rifle looks. Can I please see it up close? because that looks badass. What is it? Controls 5? I don't remember. Oh. Yes, there it is. Look at that. Okay, the lighting's not great for it, but that Gauss rifle looks beefy and powerful, and I actually really like how it looks out. Yeah, lighting does not really do much for it, but who cares? We did not save the Gauss rifle, unfortunately. It is busted. Glazed clan armor. A built-in radical heatsink, gyro, emergency cooling system, doesn't have a core. Light racks are terrible. Light PPC is actually not terrible, I think, if I remember correctly. It's got a built-in RISC cockpit systems, which are amazing. It's actually one of the reasons why we tended to use our catapult so much, because of this built-in RISC cockpit system. So the RISC cockpit gives you, in additional to guts, it's got a built-in armored cowl. It's got a sensor suite of +2 combined with the sensors on the RISC mech, which is another 4. So you've got a +6 between these two. This is amazing for scout armor. Like, I love it so much. It's actually really lightly armored though. That's kind of surprising to me. It had a 260 rated core on it. Let's go see what other kinds of armor I can put on it. You've got 2 missile hardpoints. Where's your other one? Okay, 1 in your hand, 1 in your shoulder. 2 energy. No machine guns on the hands. That's very unroughneck-like. So it's very much going to be limited to you've got a big gun, use it to the best of your abilities. Probably not use that. The AMS flare, I'll hold on because it tends to be really good. And I hate composite, because composite gives you 50% structure. So we need a core. Engines. Probably gonna want this one. No guarantees though. And then the core itself. Let me put it on a 300. What are we looking at here? Oh, the movement went down with a 260. It's a 5.9 compared to the 260 it had. 5.9 versus 5.8. So you lose a little bit. 325 brings me up to a 610. That is blisteringly fast for a mech like this. So that 260 rated fusion core is actually pretty well settled. So it's a 5.8. 265 is a 5.8. 270 is a 5.9. So the 270 rated fusion core is our break point for that. Okay. Just to give us a couple of things that we generally take for granted when building a mech, we'll go, of course, with an XL gyro, and we'll back it up with I only have 1 clan endo. Normal endo. And do I have a whole bunch of clan ferro? Could do ferro laminar. Let's see if I can get away with that. How much would ferro give me? 1.137 tons? Yeah, not much. Maybe ferro laminar. We'll see. Because it gives you a lot more health and protection. So I don't think it makes a good testbed for the hyper assault Gauss rifle, but it does actually maybe not. So I'm vacillating between the idea of whether or not using the hyper assault Gauss rifle, because the hyper assault Gauss rifle allows you to do nearly ultra autocannon 20 damage from really far. I think that's kind of the idea behind it. It would allow you to have a pretty powerful weapon. Oh good, it just fits. I was worried about that. I'm actually on board with that. Okay. Okay. So how many shots is it actually shooting? 6 times 3 times 10. How many times is it actually shooting per round? Fires 10 projectiles. Does that mean it shoots 10 shots per? Because if so, then that's a huge amount of shooting. We picked up 4 tons of ammunition for it. Let's go see what that looked like. Gas rifle. 4 tons of this would be 48 shots. I wish I had a double assault gas. I think we'll follow in their footsteps. And we'll go with the 4 tons of the hyper assault gas ammo. Gives me 12 more tons to play with, and the thing that immediately jumps to mind is a big laser. But maybe I should lean over in the missile direction. I mean, I'm not interested in the crap that there's the light rack 2. The L racks are just utter garbage. Maybe I could go with big missile, could go with electronic warfare suite. Let's not forget important gear like that. Nova CEWS. I'm gonna pull this out of there to put that in the head where it's safe. There we go. That's got us handled for that sort of combat. All right, weapon, SRM. Ooh. This might actually be the perfect time for RISC ML20. Because the hyper assault gas rifle generates pretty much no heat. So, we didn't get this. It's also incredibly chilly. Can I move you into a hand? Oh no, I'm maxed on hard points. So I can't do that because I don't have enough space. I need the endo. I switched it over to clan endo because I think I have one group left of it. I've been saving it. Switched over to clan endo. I've got 5 tons and enough room to give myself some ammunition, which would be SRM ammo. Let's do 2 tons of LRM Hydra. Or no, I suppose 1 ton of LRM Hydra. That's all I've got. I really used that much. Oh god, most of it blew up with my catapults. So that makes that a little bit less fun. So LRM Hydra. And then SRM Inferno. 5, 10 rounds of shooting. This does... Oof, by putting this here, I can't case it. Well, I can, but... That'll be ferro laminar there. Because this should have... Yes, case enabled. Okay. So... That's 10 rounds of shooting there. Do some normal listen kill if I've got it. I do not. Okay. Just 2 tons of SRM ammo then, I guess. Maybe just 1 ton, because I'm not going to use it all that often. Give me a ton of acid, and then use the rest. Okay, for just a little bit of better protection. Not quite sure why the arms are so heavily guarded, considering that they're not, like, protected, not getting anything out of it. Alright, if you're only going to be the one, I'm going to put it there. 3... 1, 2, 3. 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. There we go. That makes a little bit more sense, considering there's nothing in the arms anyway. So yeah, that could be an interesting... It continues sort of the RISC theme that the Mech was originally built on, because it's carrying nothing but RISC weaponry. Has a little bit of point defense in the AMS flare, which I like. It's got a Nova CEWS built into it as well now, which allows us to have really good protection. In addition to that, the Nova CEWS, I believe, has a... Where is it? ECCM reduces ECM by 3. So yeah, you've got some pretty powerful gear there. It's not an Angel ECM, but it is a phenomenally combined probe with a jamming system. Probably the best one. Also, it allows you to share information, which is really, really powerful. Yeah. The jammers in there. ECM, it's so good. I love it. However, it's a little bit too expensive for us to currently afford, but it is an option. 35 tons, it would make a pretty fun and interesting fire support mech. Not sure if we need more fire support mechs, but I do really kind of like the gun right there. And I kind of want to just keep it on there just to make sure that I can still have that beautiful looking gas rifle. And of course, the longbow, we did play around with a couple of build ideas. One thought I was really, really kind of leaning on was robbing the arrow vulture of his arrows to put in this thing. So, not quite sure how I want to build it. The heavy MRM build is really, really cool, but it's very direct fire. And I'm not sure I want to build in that direction. And when you go heavy MRMs, you're not really attempting captures at that point, because heavy MRMs do have an incendiary ammo type. It's very common. We actually have, I believe, quite a few tons of it, so it's not like it's difficult to come by. Yeah, we got 5 tons of the stuff. I mean, at the end of the day, we have 600 missiles that we can cram into this thing. To be fair, we would need all of them and more if we go with the maximum heavy MRM build. But that looks, not the maximum version, but the more reasonable version is quite clearly this. And even this is going to be a bit of a stretch to make work. Obviously, we would need an XL engine, which means I've got one Clan XL engine that both mechs want to use. We would obviously need a Clan Ferrofibrous. We would need probably the Clan Endo as well, just in terms of slots, because you'll notice we're already pretty much maxing out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, not good. There's that. Because I need space for ammunition. A lot of space for ammunition. And also this isn't heat efficient at all. 140 heat. It's brutal. How would I possibly make that work? Obviously, of course, the XL gyro. Make this thing ultralight gyro. Probably a bad idea. This does make it a lot more vulnerable. A lot more vulnerable to stability damage. But it gives me more space and it gives me more tonnage. So this is a good quarter ton extra, even more than that, almost a full half ton out of the ultralight gyro, and we kind of would need that. A couple of heat sinks I don't need, because I'm not going to use a normal heatsink kit. You can't, not on a build like this. So this thing is spitting out 140 missiles per round, which is mind-boggling. Because when we come around to our ammo, to our MRMs, each ton is 120 missiles, so we shoot out more than we can actually handle. And unfortunately, I don't have heavy MRM 20s to replace these with, because that would bring us down to 120, which would basically be us shoveling a ton of ammunition in their face every single round. However, we would need... That's 6 rounds of less than kill right here. Less than that. Oh god. The amount of ammunition to make this thing work. Swarm. Like this thing is an absolute ammo hog. A round and a half of ammo on that. Give me another ton. Actually, I might actually be able to get a lot more than just a ton. Although I shouldn't do this too much, given that with heavy MRMs it means I'm doing a much more direct fire roll. If I'm doing the direct fire roll, then it's kind of hard to justify trimming too much. Because if you trim too much, then you've got to make the basically can't work. So 2 more tons of ammunition. Time to go swarm. Means I just don't have to hit. Isn't swarm also indirect? Nice to accuracy, swarm, medium range. Yes, indirect fire. So I could fire these as a swarm, and in fact, at this point, I don't think that... Because it would be direct fire only. So if we were to do something like that, it's 8 tons of swarm, 6 tons of listen kill, which is, you know, possibly enough rounds to keep this thing running. It is not exactly light on ammo. This would be probably the build. I mean, we could mix and match a couple of more ammunition types. However, we're still suffering from a problem of this thing's too hot. Best thing I can do, actually, is... God, I need a better heatsink kit. Something incredibly powerful. Honestly, a radical prototype double heatsink kit would probably be the best way to go. But I would need more tonnage. 255. No, if I do this, if I build as a direct fire boat, I can't steal away the engine too much. I'm gonna be honest, I don't think the heavy MRM build works. And it's not for lack of trying, but the heavy MRM build requires you to move fast, carry a big stick. I mean, I got 4 energy hard points. I could go with... Yeah, let's sketch it out. We're here. We're having fun. You can't be an ultralight. Because this would be... Nope. don't need that. Because the ultralight gyro you don't need at this point. What you would do is you would go weapon, SRM, heavy armor 40. So you got the 2 heavy armor 40s. And then you back that up with laser. Do something like this. Now this temperature is off the charts, so we've got to control that. We of course come around and we pick up an exchanger plus, and I need 8 tons of ammo, so I can only have 4 of these. That prototype double heatsink. 2, 3, 4. Puts me at a temperature of... yeah, that's not good enough. That's still not good enough. I need more prototype doubles. I need a good gyro then. Give me a gyro for more. I don't want it, but ultralight gyro. And then more prototype. Should put them in, let's put in the ammo. Let's not beat around the bush too much. Alright, so I need... This is 120, which means I need... For every 2 is 3 rounds of combat. Yeah, so I do actually need 8 tons of ammo. 6. I can get away with 7. That. And then I need the heat more. So that's 9 rounds of shooting, which is, you know, not ideal. But let's use the prototypes that we actually work. Now this puts me to a heat efficiency of 81 for 136. That's actually not bad. All things considered, this would be one hell of a direct fire boat too. If it sees you, I mean, this is just death incarnate. My only concern is that it's kind of mixing and matching 2 things that might not go necessarily together. So an alternate version of this, of course, then would just end up being, if I have them, and I don't think I do, would just be a whole bunch of ER large lasers. I don't quite have enough to do that with, but that might be the idea. Or maybe medium X pulses, which are basically heavy. Medium X pulses are basically heavy improved mediums with a little bit more accuracy. But yeah, that might be something, an idea behind here, and then we use that extra ton for just throw more armor or something. There, you can get 140 leg armor. It's totally not broken and dumb. Just a lead-in for like direct fire support. I'm not sure if I want to build the longbow as a direct fire support. If I'm completely honest, I would prefer to build it with arrows. That way I would have some really heavy long-range missile firepower. Another thought that we may end up going with is LRMs. LRMs make a lot of sense, especially if I can find enough Hydra to make it worthwhile, which I think I might be able to. But first things first, I do have to find a whole bunch more arrows. So we have build designs sketched out for both of them. They're both very interesting mechs that I would like to be able to put in the field at some point, but that's going to take a little while. That's going to be $500,000 just to put it at that point. Do it. It's riskier. It's a good mech. It's not a replacement for the catapult, obviously. I mean, theoretically, you could do it with 2 heavy MML 30 or with 2 MML 20s, but the heat might be a little bit difficult to control. Anyway, folks, that's going to do it for today's episode. I have been Tirak. If you like what I'm seeing, hit the like button and subscribe. If you want to see a notification every single time I post one of these videos, press that little bell icon, leave a comment, and I will see you all in the next episode.